All right, so this is talking about the Ubisoft sale. So if you guys missed my video today, I would hope you check it out. But that's okay. That's why we cover everything on Hypnocast too. So Ubisoft has officially announced the creation of a new subsidiary. I just murdered that word. Wow. Subsidiary. Jesus Christ. I always fuck up that word. I say subsidiary. I'm fucking retarded. Subsidiary. So now, let me scroll down to the facts of this subsidiary. Again, I'm fucking the word up. Where is it at? Here we go. So what is the problem with this new subsidiary? So Ubisoft has essentially done the following. Ubisoft has created a new company with Tencent. Tencent is going to have a 25% economic stake in this new subsidiary. Ubisoft is going to have a 75% economic stake in this new subsidiary. However, they're going to have 100% creative control over this new subsidiary. Ubisoft has then sold their IP licenses to this new subsidiary company to utilize and create video games under 3 franchises, which is Rainbow Six, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry. Ubisoft is basically selling the licenses to themselves in a way, but not really, because Tencent has 25% economic stake in the company. So Ubisoft sold their IPs to themselves, to this new subsidiary, and now this subsidiary is going to be the company that is going to release these games from now on. So what does that mean for Ubisoft? I have no fucking idea. I don't know what Ubisoft like is. So is Ubisoft going to be nothing now? Are they just going to be the parent company? I don't know what they're going to do. But essentially, in return, what happened was Tencent gave Ubisoft 1.16 billion. Okay? Tencent gave Ubisoft 1.16 billion for this to happen, which essentially helped them with their massive debt. Ubisoft had an insane amount of debt, and I don't even think this cleared out their debt. I don't think it cleared out their debt at all. I think it helped their debt drastically, but I think they had way bigger debt than that. Now, here's the ironic thing about all of this. This new subsidiary is immediately valued at, because of the acquisition and everything, it was immediately valued at $4 billion plus, which ironically makes this new subsidiary worth more than Ubisoft's company as a whole, which is unbelievable. The subsidiary is worth more than Ubisoft now, which is crazy. So let's continue. The new subsidiary would include the teams developing. Also, keep in mind, the teams that were developing, the studios that were developing these games are now working for this new subsidiary. Keep that in mind, which means Tencent has a 25% influence on them in some capacity. Even though Ubisoft has full control, do not get it twisted. You got to be out of your mind if you think Tencent's going to have no influence on what happens with this company. You are out of your fucking mind if you think that's going to happen. But anyway, the subsidiary would include teams developing Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry franchises based in Montreal, Quebec, Sherbrooke, Sanguinet, Barcelona, and Sofia, as well as the back catalog and any new games currently under development or to be developed. So now Tencent is going to be getting royalties from the back catalog of these studios. So anything that these studios made prior, they're now going to be getting royalties for. Anything that this studio came out with recently, they're going to be getting royalties for. And anything that they're working on to release in the future, they're also going to be getting royalties for. So essentially what happened, well, let me finish. The new subsidiary, I fucked up the word again, will be granted by Ubisoft a worldwide exclusive is the key word, exclusive. So Ubisoft is granting exclusive license to this new subsidiary, which is 25% owned by Tencent. Irrevocable, I can't say that word, perpetual license in respect of the intellectual property and similar proprietary rights owned or licensable by Ubisoft in relation to Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry in exchange for a royalty. So basically, the three major franchises of Ubisoft have now been hoarded out in order to save Ubisoft as a company. That is essentially what's going on here. So even though they have full creative control, supposedly, they had to whore out these franchises and give essentially 25% of it to Tencent in order to stay afloat. That's basically what's happening here. Because otherwise, Ubisoft would not have been able to survive. Ubisoft is taking the Band-Aid. So let's talk about the Band-Aid effect, okay? So for all the people trying to say that Tencent is going to be the ultimate loser here, you are out of your fucking mind if you believe that. Tencent knows exactly what they are doing. They are being extremely strategic in taking down Ubisoft and taking over, I should say, Ubisoft. They're being extremely strategic. They basically took a carrot and waved it in front of Ubisoft's face and said, hey, we'll be the highest bidder. We'll be the highest bidder and give you the most money for these franchises. Hey, but you got to give us 25%. But we'll save you. Look, we're going to save you from all your failures. And Ubisoft had to take it. Ubisoft didn't want to take it. You could tell because they are so desperate to maintain control, but they had to take it. Because remember, Ubisoft said that they were having a bidding war between EA, Microsoft, and Tencent. Tencent won at 1.16 billion. That means everybody else bid less. They viewed Ubisoft as worth less than 1.16 billion. So Tencent ends up giving 1.16 billion to Ubisoft, but let it be fucking known, bro. Let it be. Oh yeah, they were definitely cheering. Let it be known they're going to make their money back real quick for the most part, because this also includes back catalog pay. So now what Ubisoft did, for all the people who are like, this is a win for Ubisoft, what Ubisoft essentially did is they hoard out their franchises. They got paid to make up some of their debt, if not almost all of their debt. But now they can no longer release their games under Ubisoft's banner. They have to release it under the company's new banner. Tencent owns 25% of that economically. And now every single sale that Ubisoft sells for their video games that matter, right? Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, Far Cry. Every single sale, they now have to give money to Tencent. So now Ubisoft, that was already... Wait. I want you guys to keep this in mind. Ubisoft, that was already struggling to make money. They were already struggling to make money. They were losing money left and right. They lost money on Outlaws. They're losing money on Assassin's Creed Shadows right now, for now anyway. They haven't made their money back. They're losing money on, or they lost money, I should say, on X-Defiant. And they lost money on Skull and Bones. The company that was already losing money now, if they are remaining in control and they're going to have creative control over everything, that tells me that the games that they release in the future, if they supposedly have no influence from Tencent, they're just going to be losing money, and now they got to pay Tencent on top of that. That's crazy. So they were losing money, and now they got to pay Tencent on every single sale that they didn't have to pay before. How is that a win for Ubisoft? Why? Because their debt got a little bit clearer? That's crazy. Because even though if they don't make any money, it doesn't matter. They still have to pay Tencent. So now they're going to go even further into debt. So all Tencent did was clear out some of that debt only for Ubisoft to keep going further into it. That's it. That's literally it. Ubisoft is going to keep going further into debt, and all they did was move themselves down the line a little bit. That's it. This is like a Shark Tank kind of deal where they knew exactly what they were doing. Tencent knows what they're doing. They've been doing this with Ubisoft for a while. How do you think they got 10% ownership of Ubisoft? Keep that in mind. Tencent has 10% ownership in Ubisoft's original company. And now they have 25% economic ownership in this new subsidiary from Ubisoft. Bro, all you're doing is delaying the inevitable. That's literally it. You're just delaying the inevitable of what's going to happen. But at least the Guillemot family bought out some more time. That's basically it. The Guillemot family bought out time in the hopes that maybe they could come out with a win. Maybe they can create something that's going to save them as a company. But as of right now, their video games are worth 25% less because now they got to pay Tencent a royalty on every single game sold. So let me go over some of the details here so that you guys have an idea what's going on. So here's the main terms of the binding agreement with Tencent. Tencent would invest in a new subsidiary which is headquartered in France and 100% owned by Ubisoft immediately prior to the transaction. Specifically at closing of the transaction, Tencent would invest a total of 1.16 billion euro for an approximate 25% economic interest in the new subsidiary. That will be used to strengthen Ubisoft's balance sheet by significantly reducing its consolidated net debt, accelerate the group's transformation, and sustain growth of selected franchises. After closing of the transaction, the new subsidiary will remain exclusively controlled and consolidated by Ubisoft. So, but here's the thing. Apparently, Ubisoft is going to be putting a brand new board of directors with this company. So this company is getting its own board of directors. We don't know if Tencent is going to have anybody on those board of directors. I have to imagine that they will find a way to influence themselves into those board of directors. I got to imagine. But as of right now, we have no idea. Conditions precedent to the transaction: issuance of a fairness opinion from Finexi acting as independent expert, completion of the carve-out to create the new subsidiary, obtention of the necessary regulatory clearances. Ubisoft can unilaterally, I fucked that word up. I can't say that word. Unilaterally, Jesus Christ, waive the issuance of the fairness opinion as a condition precedent. The completion of the transaction is expected before the end of 2025. The new subsidiary would have a dedicated leadership team supervised by the board of directors focused on enhancing creative vision and streamlining operations with the authority to make swift, high-impact decisions across development, marketing, and distribution to ensure these brands continue to evolve, attract new audiences, and deliver groundbreaking gaming experiences for years to come. So, yeah, they're going to be supervised by a board of directors. Okay, yeah, so I read that right. Tencent would benefit from customary minority protection, veto rights, as well as a certain consent rights on the disposals of the important new subsidiary assets. Other provisions in relation to Tencent shareholding in the new subsidiary notably include the following. A 5-year lockup undertaking on new subsidiary shares held by Tencent unless Ubisoft no longer owns a majority of new subsidiary voting rights and share capital. Ubisoft may not cease to hold a majority of new subsidiary voting rights and share capital for a 2-year period. Customary share transfer provisions, including a right of first refusal to the benefit of Ubisoft. So they get right of first refusal. They also get a right of first offer to the benefit of Tencent. So Tencent gets the right for the first offer on essentially everything. And then and a drag along right to the benefit of Ubisoft subject to certain conditions. A call option to the benefit of Ubisoft and a put option to the benefit of Tencent in the event of certain exchange or a change of control of Ubisoft approved by its board of directors. Exercise price will be at the higher of the fair market value of the new subsidiary shares and the same EBIT multiple as that in the change of control transaction of Ubisoft, it being specified that for the call option, there will be a specific minimum price protection during the first 4 years following closing of the transaction with Tencent. So even in the chances that Ubisoft may potentially sell, right, or Ubisoft may potentially try to sell to change ownership, whatever, Tencent is going to be protected from this potential sale that might happen in the future. So even Tencent realizes that Ubisoft is in big trouble. And Tencent realizes that the money they're investing in Ubisoft may not necessarily save them. So they're putting in that protection so that when they invest in Ubisoft, they at least have that level of safety, knowing that they have a few years of safety with Ubisoft. Whether 4 or 5 years or whatever the case would be, they have that level of safety. But even Tencent knows that Ubisoft is a very volatile company to invest in, but they're doing it anyway because they want those fucking IPs. They want Assassin's Creed, they want Far Cry, and they want Rainbow Six. Flat out. They want those 3 IPs. And Tencent knows exactly what they're doing to try to get those IPs for cheap. They know that. So at the end of the day, they're hoping that they can invest in Ubisoft now, let them continue to bury themselves, and then buy out Ubisoft later completely and own everything. At least that's how it seems anyway to me. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but that's how it seems. Now, obviously, this is not going to all happen within a year. I think this is going to be this bought Ubisoft. This bought Ubisoft probably another few years. I got to imagine this bought Ubisoft anywhere from 3 to 5 years, because within that time, Ubisoft can make some fuck ups and then Tencent can figure out what they want to do from there. But at this point, Tencent has 10% of Ubisoft, 25% of this new company. They are the majority owners. Like, these people, aside from the Guillemot family, they know what they're doing. So again, for all the people who are like, oh, Ubisoft won here, Tencent lost. No. Tencent did not fucking lose. Tencent knows exactly what they're fucking doing. Now, you have people on the other side who are like, well, this is not a good thing, the CCP, all that stuff. And I get that. I'm not cheering it on because the CCP is buying them. I'm cheering it on because Ubisoft is getting the fruits of their labor. And we already knew that Tencent was going to be the one to do this for a year. We've been talking, how long have we been talking about this? We've been talking about this forever. About Tencent buying up Ubisoft or Tencent buying up some of their games. It's been happening forever. Essentially, Tencent is injecting poison into Ubisoft. Exactly, Bennett. Bennett Talby in the chat. It's on point. Tencent injected poison into Ubisoft and it's slowly but surely killing them. And they know this, but they're relying on this. That's what they're doing. So let's switch over to this. So we have an exclusive from Insider Gaming. Let's go over this, guys. We have an exclusive. Insider Gaming. The CEO, Mr. Guillemot himself, sent out an internal memo on Ubisoft and Tencent's new subsidiary. So he sent out a company-wide email. So here we go. The damage control begins. Because now people are panicking. Before I do that, hold on. Before I do that, let me show this. So Ubisoft employees are panicking, which is amazing because these are the same people that are trying to convince everybody that Shadows is a big win. If Shadows is a big win, why are you guys fucking panicking for? Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. You're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Keep destroying Grums. Keep destroying Elon Musk. Keep ratioing them, which, by the way, was fucking hilarious, by the way. That clapback that Ubisoft did was fucking hilarious. Even if people are saying it got botted, and whatever, I don't care. It was hilarious. I gotta admit, it was fucking hilarious. Anyway, so Ubisoft employees are apparently worried about layoffs after the Tencent deal. Why? You guys are fine. You guys are perfectly fine. You got Shadows. Shadows is a big win, right? Everything's fine in the company. There's no reason to be panicking. Why are you worried? You guys are on Twitter right now talking about Shadows being a massive success. There should be no reason to be worrying right now. You got bought out and saved by Tencent. Everything's gravy. Everything's gravy. So it says on Thursday afternoon, Ubisoft announced that it was forming a new subsidiary company with Tencent that will include the company's 3 biggest franchises. Not long after the deal was announced, multiple current Ubisoft employees reached out to express feelings of uneasiness and concern about the future of the company, specifically those not working on Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. Why? What are you worried about? You got 3 million players playing your game right now, right? There's nothing to be worried about. Shadows is a huge hit. It's the hit that you needed, according to the journalists. There's literally articles out there saying that Assassin's Creed Shadows is the hit that Ubisoft needed. So what are you worried about? Don't be worried. You're fine. In an internal email. Okay, let's go to the email. So that's basically it. Let's go to the email. Check this out. All right, so we got an exclusive here from Insider Gaming. As much as I hate Insider Gaming shilling, I'm not going to take away their exclusive anything. This is from Insider Gaming, so everybody knows that. Earlier today, they got an email. It reads the following. Here we go. You guys ready for this? Hello, everyone. Bro, if he would have said hello, gamers, oh my God, I would have fucking melted down. I would have melted down, bro. I would have fucking lost it. I'd be like, hello, gamers, fuck you. Oh, man, but he did the comma, though. He did the comma. So the comma is slightly PTSD inducing, but that's fine. Hello, everyone. I'm pleased to share an important announcement that will mark a milestone in Ubisoft's history. Following a process to review different strategic options for Ubisoft's future, which, oh, by the way, can I just say something really quick? I'm sorry. Can I make a point? So shout out to Ubisoft because they copyright struck me for something that got leaked from their company because their company is constantly leaking shit. This is what happens when you have 20,000 employees. But anyway, I digress. Isn't it amazing that you can't even keep a company email? You can't even keep a company email from leaking. And you want to copyright strike YouTubers for covering shit that's Ubisoft related when it's your fucking fault? You guys can't even keep an email from fucking leaking. Anyway, following a process to review different strategic options for Ubisoft's future, we have just signed an exceptional agreement with one of our trusted shareholders, Tencent, with whom we have a solid relationship. Their $1.16 billion investment will benefit all of Ubisoft. We will be able to firmly take back control of our future and renew with the serenity needed to create the best games. So to say that you're going to take back control of your future means that you must have lost control of your future at some point in time. So that means that everything the Chuds have been saying about you guys struggling and you guys being just absolute failures, are you admitting that it's true? Are you admitting that Ubisoft has made extreme financial mistakes over the past 2 years that have cost them billions of dollars? Are we finally admitting that this is true? That's interesting. The terms of this partnership are straightforward. We will establish a dedicated subsidiary within Ubisoft that will bring together our three most powerful franchises, Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, and Far Cry. This subsidiary will gather the teams working on these brands, primarily in the studios of Montreal, Quebec City, Sherbrooke, Sanguinet, Barcelona, and Sofia. Tencent will be a 25% shareholder of this new subsidiary, with the aim of boosting these franchises so they become undisputed global icons. They already were. They already were. Assassin's Creed was massive, right? Far Cry used to be huge, and then it kind of died off, right? Rainbow Six also, with Rainbow Six Siege is huge. A lot of people still enjoy Rainbow Six Siege. I never got into it personally, but Rainbow Six is a huge name already. You guys have been giving up your clout with these names. You've been giving up these names. The historic agreement is above all a recognition of the extraordinary work you have been doing for years. What? Wait. So you having to whore out your franchises is somehow a testament to the work of the people that have been destroying your games for the past few years? Are you fucking kidding me? Really? Okay. The value of these three brands directly reflects your individual and collective talent and efforts, which have allowed us to create these beloved franchises. This investment will also give us the means to accelerate the changes we've been discussing for several months across the group, changes that many of you have been longing for, as revealed by the Ubisoft XP survey. These changes are in line with the initiatives that Marie-Sophie has been sharing recently, which aim to put the creation of unique games and player satisfaction back at the heart of our daily work. This is what will enable us to return to a higher level of profitability. There is nobody, I'm not going to say that. There's not many people, I think, at Ubisoft that care about unique games and player satisfaction. Let's be fucking real. Let's be real. The ones who do are the ones that leak this. The ones who do are the ones that have been leaking stuff to Smash JT and other people. Those people care. But aside from them, most of them don't care. And again, you think being dishonest with players and talking about 3 million players instead of units sold, you think being dishonest with players is going to somehow make them more satisfied? You think that's the right way to go? It's very clear with the way that you guys have been handling Shadows that you have no intention of making anything focused on players. Zero. You're only focused on continuing to lie to your investors, just like you're focusing on continuing to lie to your employees right now. Because you know your employees are nervous. They can read the room. The employees can read the room. They can see that things are not looking good. If your company is having to do shit like this in order to save them, things are not looking good. Flat out. I don't care what the shows say. They're flat out lying to you. There is never a scenario where a company has to be sold in order for them, there is never, let me put it like this. There is never a scenario where a company has to be sold and they're doing well. Never. Not a major corporation anyway. If you're talking about a mom and pop company, a mom and pop shop, and the guy's retiring, he wants to sell, and the company's doing fine, but he wants to sell, fine, I get it. But even then, not so much, because usually those people would want to pass off their company to a family member or pass it down if it's successful. They're not necessarily want to selling it. They're not going to want to sell it unless they have no family. Then perhaps they would sell it. So if a company is doing extremely well, there is zero reason to sell. Zero. Ubisoft sold the way that they did because they needed help. That's basically it. Ubisoft needed help, and they're admitting it in this email and also in statements prior. So, hold on. This announcement comes at a pivotal time after the very positive reception of Assassin's Creed Shadows and the excitement sparked by the announcement of Rainbow Six Siege X, of which we can be very proud. Here we go, straight up lying again. The super positive sentiment. When's the last time they said that, by the way? When's the last time they said, oh, our game is getting super positive sentiment? Oh, I remember Star Wars Outlaws. That's right, yeah. Star Wars Outlaws. They told their investors that people and gamers were extremely positive about that game. Okay, sure. They also told people that about their other games too, and look what happened to that. I want to express my deepest gratitude for your resilience, tenacity, courage, and creativity, all the qualities that make Ubisoft a truly unique company and that helped us overcome a challenging period over the last few years. The coming months will be dedicated to shaping our next chapter. Of course, this new step in our transformation will raise many questions, including on an individual level. We are committed to keeping you regularly informed, answering your questions, and providing visibility on the next steps. I hope you can join the global live stream that will be held tomorrow at 3:30 p.m., which I will share a few words with you. You will receive an invitation shortly. See you tomorrow, and thank you again, Mr. Guillemot. So we're here, boys. We are here. We are here, where Ubisoft has officially done what we've been saying they were going to do forever. Now, keep in mind, guys, let's be fair, okay? I want to be very fair here, even though I really shouldn't be, but I always try to be as fair as possible. This has been happening for a while. This was in the plans for a long time. And I told you guys, right after Assassin's Creed Shadows releases, you are going to hear an announcement of some sort of sale within 1 month's time from Ubisoft. I wish I could get that clip. I wish I could get that clip to prove to you that I literally said that word for word. I said that was going to happen. That after 1 month's time, there is going to be an announcement of some sort of sale with Tencent. Most likely Tencent. But obviously EA and Microsoft tried to join in on that at some point. But they've had this cooking for a long time. And they were waiting until the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows before they announced this eventual sale, or now it's a subsidiary, whatever. They were waiting until Shadows released. Now that that game is out, they can transition and do what they got to do. And they're going to create their new company, get the paperwork ready, all that shit, solidify the deal. We knew this was happening, bro. From the jump. So it's not that Assassin's Creed Shadows, right? It's not that Assassin's Creed Shadows killed Ubisoft, because it didn't. All Assassin's Creed Shadows did was do the same thing that the previous 4 failures did before it. You know what killed Ubisoft? The combination of Star Wars Outlaws, X-Defiant, Avatar, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, and now, obviously, Assassin's Creed Shadows. All of these games combined, and Skull and Bones too. Skull and Bones was huge. Skull and Bones reportedly lost over $600 million. Skull and Bones as well. All of these games combined had forced Ubisoft. It's forcing their hand, basically. It's forcing their hand to the point where now they had to do this. That's it. That's where we're at. So everything happened exactly how we said it was going to happen. Damn near almost for the exact fucking time frame too. Oh shit, Joker, you're right, bro. Is that Ubisoft? Oh my god. Let me check it. Oh my god, he's right. He's right. I forgot about this. You also have this game that lost a fuck ton of money. Beyond Good and Evil 2. That's been in development hell for fucking ages. I forgot about this too. Bro, they've lost so much money. It's insane. Wow, I completely forgot about this game, bro. Legitimately, I completely forgot this was even a thing. This game is never coming out, dude. I highly doubt it. Sincerely, I highly doubt it. Wow. That's incredible. So again, guys, at this point, it's time to move on. At this point, I think that the Chuds have gotten everything they're going to get from Ubisoft. The fact that Ubisoft is being forced to do this is proof enough that they lost majorly. They got saved by Tencent, but let's be clear, Tencent is only saving them to the benefit of themselves. Tencent is not saving them out of goodwill. Tencent is not saving Ubisoft because they feel bad for the... No. Tencent is saving Ubisoft because they want that ass. And they see their way in. They already had a 10% way in. They had just a tip in, right? They had just a tip in. Now, now Tencent has gone with their first full thrust. That's what it is. This is Tencent's mean of doing their first full thrust, right? They got that first one, that good one, right? They got that good one in there, and now they're waiting until they can fuck the shit out of Ubisoft. They're waiting. They're waiting for their moment. But they want that ass. Let me tell you. That's the only way I could explain it. Oh, man. Bro, this has been a wild... How long have we been covering this? We've been covering Ubisoft's downfall for the betterment of a year. For the betterment of a year. And it ended exactly where we said it was going to end. And yet, till this day, you still have people out there, shills out there, trying to be like, fuck the Chuds. Fuck the YouTubers. Fuck the grifters. All they do is complain, blah, blah, blah. They don't play games. They don't do anything. Guys, man, come on. Seriously? Seriously? I'm not right all the time. And I know I'm not right all the time. And I say I'm not right all the time. But when we're right, we're right. And Ubisoft 100% has been something we've been calling for a long time. A long time. Feels like longer than a year, to be honest with you. And now we're here. We tried to tell you. So now at this point, this entire sale is going to put a major damper on the victory parade that all these shills have been running with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Isn't that kind of sad? Because now Assassin's Creed Shadows fucking felted Grums and felted Elon Musk. They had a great clapback against those two guys, right? Destroyed them in a clapback. It was beautiful. But now, how are you going to clap back at Grums in a beautiful way, mind you? And you'd be like, well, our game is out, right? That was a great response. How are you going to clap back at Grums, destroy Grums, and then the next day, the fucking Chinese own 25% of the game that came out? What the... Are you serious? Now the CCP owns you 25%? The day after you felt it, bro. Unbelievable. I mean, that is just like... Yamato says instant karma. I don't know if it's instant karma. I wouldn't say it's instant karma. I mean, just because the CCP owns them doesn't mean that, the clapback wasn't amazing. You know what I mean? Because the clapback was amazing. And I've told Grums that. They fucking felted Grums and they felted Elon Musk. But now the CCP is felting them. So what is happening? I don't even know. Hey, listen, at least you got that ratio, though. Congratulations, Assassin's Creed. Congratulations. You got that ratio. I would post on the Assassin's Creed page, but I can't. Because they blocked me. That's just what it is. They blocked me. It's sad, but true. Okay. Let me see. Oh, hell no, bro. Oh, hell no, bro. Who posted this? Who posted this, bro? Nah, bro. You guys need to stop with the Studio Ghibli shit. Stop. You guys need to repent. Whoever did this shit, you guys need to absolutely repent.
You fuckers need to repent!
Bro, this is unbelievable. This is unfucking believable. The internet is unbelievable. Holy shit, bro. I can't, bro. This internet is crazy. Anyway, let me see. Is there anything else in this news that I want to cover? We did the email. We did the employees panicking. Let me see. Oh, hold on. Hold on. We got some messages from the employees at Ubisoft. Wait, it gets good. We got some messages from employees at Ubisoft. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Check this out. Check this out. Let's see. We feel fucked if we're not on the big three. One current Ubisoft employee said under the condition of anonymity. They can say these things in an email, but when it comes down to it, we feel like we know where priorities are. Ooh. Why are you panicking? Why are you panicking? I don't understand. You guys are cheering on Shadows right now. Just hey, you're at least 2 weeks away from 4 million players. You're fine. You're fine. What's wrong? Said another employee currently working on an unannounced project. I want to think our team is okay right now, but we don't know. You think they'd have at least some sort of clarity for us before publicly announcing the deal. You're fine. The other messages received all relayed similar sentiments. There is some excitement and hope that a turnaround is coming for the company. A turnaround? Wait. What do you mean a turnaround? I thought Ubisoft was fine. I thought Assassin's Creed Shadows saved the company. What do you mean turnaround? Bro, the story changes every day. I don't understand. Like, are we at the point now where are we admitting Ubisoft was failing? Like, are we officially admitting that now? Because the only way you could turn around a company is if you were having problems to begin with. So, but until questions about their status are answered, these in various areas of the company don't want to get happy. We just want to know what's going on, one source said. What do you mean? You want to know what's going on? Just go to Assassin's Creed on Twitter. They'll tell you everything you need to know. They're very transparent. You guys are fine. 3 million players. You're cooking. What's the issue? They promise transparency. Bro, are you fucking retarded? Are you going to believe the company that you work for when they tell you they're going to be transparent when they're not even being transparent about their fucking sales on Twitter? You serious right now? What makes you think they're going to be transparent when they won't even tell people how many copies they sold? You got to be shitting me. What do you mean transparent? And regular communication with us, but we'll see if that actually happens. It's not. It's not going to happen. You're going to get no transparency. If you don't believe us, go to Twitter. Insider Gaming has reached out to Ubisoft regarding what the deal with Tencent means for its employees and the possibility of layoffs. Should a response be received, it will be added to the article. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. You ain't going to get no response, bro. Zero response. There's one more thing I wanted to cover. Hold on. Regarding Ubisoft. So we do actually have some numbers, boys. We got some sales figures. And since Ubisoft doesn't want to announce any sales figures, thankfully, Famitsu is not quite the same. You got to love Famitsu. So if you guys don't know what Famitsu is, they give sales charts for physical retail sales in Japan. Because Japan doesn't like to hide anything. Japan tells you how many manga they sold. They tell you how many games they sold. Because for them, they want to be honest and upfront with their success or failures. So, thankfully, we got some numbers. Of course, okay? He says, of course, he says it like that. What do you want me to say? Famatsu? Is that how you want me to say it? Famatsu? I'm going to say Famitsu. I don't care. So, we got some software sales. Now, keep in mind some context. This is physical sales only. So, no digital. Zero digital sales. And obviously, the majority of sales, probably about 70% plus, are on digital, maybe even more than that. So just so you're aware, okay? So you can take this number and increase it like probably 5 to 8 times what that number is for the total number. Maybe, who knows? That might be giving them too much, but still. So, according to Famitsu, you got Nintendo Switch, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Definitive Edition, 74,689 copies sold. Physical. Okay? Atelier Yumiya, PS5, The Alchemist of Memories and the Efficient Land from Koei Tecmo, 27,810 copies sold. Now, if it says new in parentheses, that means it came out this week. Okay? So it doesn't have previous sales to go by. You got the same game as before, but on the Nintendo Switch, selling 26,315 copies. So combined, you got almost 60,000 between two platforms. You got Monster Hunter Wilds on PS5, selling 20,621 copies for a total of 763,490. So Monster Hunter Wilds sold in Japan alone, physical only, 763,000 copies. Assassin's Creed Shadows did less than Monster Hunter Wilds in its debut week. Right? Assassin's Creed Shadows on PS5 sold 17,701 copies physically. 17,000 copies. Super Mario Party for Nintendo Switch sold 9,214 for a total of 1.2 million. Atelier over on PS4 sold 6,949 copies. Bleach Rebirth of Souls sold 6,079. Minecraft on Nintendo Switch sold 5,876, and the list keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on. Okay? So, Assassin's Creed Shadows in Japan, which, by the way, all the journalists were like, oh, Japan loves Assassin's Creed Shadows. Remember that? They were like, Japan, actually, I did a video today where the journalists tried to use the actually meme. They were like, actually, Japan loves Assassin's Creed Shadows. And then when you ask them, well, who says that? The Access Media says that in Japan. So Access Media Japan loves Shadows. Gee, I wonder why. They love Shadows so much that they can't even beat Monster Hunter. 17,000 copies, okay? Now, I want you guys to understand one thing really quick. And I'm going to bring it up. Hold on. Where is it at? There we go. So when I posted this on Twitter, a lot of people were coping. And they were saying, whoa, it only sold 17,000 copies because Western games don't sell well in Japan. Which I'm like, really? Really? So I'm like, okay, Western games don't sell well in Japan. Got it. Okay, I'm not even going to bother bringing up the other Western games that have sold well, much better than Shadows in Japan. But I'm going to bring up one that's very relevant to the game that's being sold right now. So Assassin's Creed Shadows takes place in feudal Japan. So let's bring up another game that took place in Japan that was universally loved by Japan and outside Japan. You got an article here from the VGC all the way back in July of 2020. July of 2020. Ghost of Tsushima recorded the best launch week sales of any first-party PlayStation 4 game in Japan to date. Ghost of Tsushima sold 221,915 in the first week in Japan. Physical, mind you. Physical. 221,000 copies, 915. Physical copies in Japan when it first released. That is over 200,000 copies more than Assassin's Creed Shadows. Similar setting, similar idea. And to be honest with you, Ghost of Tsushima, that was a brand new name. Assassin's Creed has an established franchise behind it. Nobody knew what Ghost of Tsushima was until it came out. Brand new title, brand new IP. sold 200,000 copies more than Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is an established IP, an established franchise. Gee, I wonder why that happened. Then you're going to have all the shills say, well, that was because of COVID. COVID made these people buy Tsushima. That's why. It's because of COVID that it sold 200,000 more copies. If it came out today, it wouldn't sell that much, bro. Bro, you really think that if Ghost of Tsushima came out today, that it wouldn't sell 200,000 plus copies in Japan? Really? Really? You know how I know that's bullshit? Here, I'll show you why. I'll show you why. Oh, man, this just keeps getting better. Hold on. This keeps getting better. I'll show you why that's bullshit. Here's why. So, Ghost of Tsushima came out on PC recently, right? Ghost of Tsushima came out on PC May 2024, right? So for all intents and purposes, it was a brand new release on PC 4 years after the initial game came out. 4 years, right? 4 years after the initial game came out. Ghost of Tsushima did 77,154. Ghost of Tsushima, a 4-year-old game, did better than Assassin's Creed Shadows did on Steam, which is a brand new game. So tell me again that Ghost of Tsushima would not perform amazingly if it were to release today as a brand new game. Come on, bro. Are we serious right now? This is the level of bullshit and cope that we want to deal with. You couldn't even beat Ghost of Tsushima on PC, and it's a 5-year-old game at this point. This game has estimated 1.5 to 2 million sales on PC alone by itself. And again, it's a 5-year-old game at this point. How is this possible? And oh, guess what? Guess what? Look what happened. Guys, look what happened in March of 2025. What happened here? Oh, what's this? Instead of Assassin's Creed Shadows, people decided to buy Ghost of Tsushima and play that game instead this month. Look at this. Look at this spike. This game sold a ton of copies this month. The same month that Shadows came out. Are you fucking kidding me? Look at this blip. This tells me everything I need to know. Shadows got destroyed by Ghost of Tsushima in every way imaginable. It can't compare to a 5-year-old game. So, again, guys, I think at this point, unless Ubisoft does something different, I'm done. Like this is the culmination of over a year of talking about this company, and it has resulted in them being forced to sell 25% ownership in their top 3 franchises. Now they got to pay the CCP money on every single sale. I don't know how much more felted Ubisoft can get at this point. I don't. The shills can run damage control for them all they want, but nothing they say will ever be backed by any numerical facts. All they're going to do is keep using political speak, corpo speak. That's all they're going to be doing. If you ask them about the sales, they're going to be like, well, it's got 3 million players. If you ask them about the sales again, well, everybody loves it. The journalist gave it a 10 out of 10. You ask them about sales again, well, actually, my best friend who's autistic, he loves it. You ask them about sales one more time, well, actually, my dog played it. Bro, what the fuck? I don't even know. I don't know anymore. Anyway, so that's it. That's it. That's it for Ubisoft. That's it for Assassin's Creed Shadows. If you guys want to watch the clip, it'll be on Hypnotic Live tomorrow, obviously.